All right, folks. Here we are. We're back. We're back, and we're gonna do some really cool stuff today. We're gonna approach Kakariko Village, go into the well, to the torture dungeon under Kakariko Village that was run by the Sheikah, and possibly do the Shadow Temple as well. So there's a lot to analyze here. This is Hyrule's dark past. I mean, you don't get a character like Ganondorf out of a void. It's gotta come from somewhere, and I think we're gonna get a lot of hints as to where he comes from and why from these dungeons. Anyway, I'm going to talk to this fellow, though, with this mask, with my wobbly ears, because, hey, oh, you know, he got up. He got up. Sit down. I was going to talk to you. You know, we got to make it nighttime again. Hold on. Wait, what was it? No. There it is. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, there's, you know, since Ganondorf is sort of the shadow of this world, you know, he's the repression given form. Well, that repression must have come from somewhere. You know, it didn't come out of nowhere. That repression came from somewhere, and Ganondorf is sort of a representation of that, right? And where do we hide our repressions? Well, we hide them deep underwater, in wells and under the rug. You know, we don't want it to be seen, not even by our waking consciousness. So this is something that's going to give us one of those big psychoanalytic pieces of information that defines why we're in the situation that we're in anyway with Link and Zelda and Ganon. I bet with those long ears you could even hear the voices of spirits. Oh, these are genuine rabbit ears from the animal of legend. I don't care how expensive it is, please sell it to me. My long-time dream returning to the wildlife. Finally, the actor, stage, and prop have been united. It's a 50 rupee mask, but he paid you a crazy amount of money for it. More money than you can count. Woo! I am rich now, but now, yeah. Look at him, he wears it like right over his face. You know, he has become the rabbit. Fabulous. Fabulous. Anyway, guys, we're starting a little bit early, but, you know, I had the extra time, so I thought we'd do it, and we have a lot to cover today. We're working our way through this game really fast. It's making me really happy. You know, the live streams aren't getting as many views, but I get through the games faster, which is almost more important to me. Which is funny, because I'm running a YouTube channel. That's like the whole point, but whatever. Whatever. Anyways, yeah, the well, you know, the Sheikah, there's a lot with Kakariko Village, a lot to look into. When we were there earlier, we noticed that they sort of had templates on what to do in the various temples. All the different ways you can manipulate different aspects of the world, which tells me the Sheikah, you know, they're the secret dark police of the Hyrulean Empire, and they had access to every temple. You know, they had access to every piece of society, and we know there was a dark war of greed and corruption, and there's been many videos on that by many great YouTubers. And it just seems to me that a lot of the big secrets are gonna lie here, right? Like, why was Ganondorf made? He must have come, he's a thief, he must have come from a sort of poverty, and certain factions must have lost out in the war, which might be what we see with the Gerudo. You know, and the Sheikah, of course, are very reminiscent of Japan's ninja, right? Which were a sort of secret police in themselves, operating for feudal lords and, I don't know if it was for feudal lords or for the empire. I'm gonna have to do some more research on Japanese history before we make that final video. But oh, did I save another guy? No, it's still just 3. But I think these guys have a lot to do with it. They have, I've watched a video showing how we have all these little books here. We have all these little books. You can see kind of buried in it, there's a Sheikah symbol. And you can find these books kind of all over the world in various places, which I think tells you where the Sheikah have been, what they've been doing, and just this place in general. You have the Shadow Temple in the graveyard, you have various holes with dead people in them, you have the graves, which have, you know, big complex layouts, you have the well. Like, there was a lot of stuff going on in this Sheikah village, You know, it's hiding a lot of those secrets. I just can't express that enough. So, anyway, let's go ruin this guy's life by playing the Song of Storms. No, that's not it. Hold on. Do-do-do, do-do-do. There we go. I mean, the well connects, lest we forget, the well connects to the graveyard. So you could get access from the graveyard to the well, or to the windmill, which connects to the well, which connects to the torture dungeon, which has a literal connection to the Shadow Temple. There was a whole system of, like, imprisonment, and who were they imprisoning? That's really the big question we have. Who were they imprisoning in this torture dungeon? And, you know, we do a lot of symbolic interpretation. Wait. We do a lot of symbolic interpretation in this game, and in this series we're recording. A mean kid ruined everything, yeah. Yeah, that's right, Ketzer. And welcome to the show. Yeah, he's very upset with me for this. He's not upset yet, but I think after 7 years of, I don't know, learning the song, that just, I don't know. I mean, it's worth looking into that. I don't really know why he says that. Also, did they move this wooden bar? If I recall, it was always in the center. They seem to have moved it over here. Very, very odd. I don't know why they did that. Let's read this sign. Dark, narrow, scary, the well of 3 features. 3 features. That's an odd thing to call something. Oh, don't worry about it, Ketzer. You know, I'm going to be blabbing a bunch today, and I have a lot to talk about with this, especially with the symbolism of wells in general. I mean, a well is a deep, dark, underwater, which we know represents the subconscious. Oh, wait, I was going to go give the mask back. Oops! I was going to go get the Mask of Truth, or the Mask of the Sheikah. Yeah, I need to go do that. And you know, maybe we can make this a little bit faster if I play the Prelude of Light. We can just get over to Hyrule Town. Wait. But that's where the secret's buried, you know? And that's where a repression is to lie. You don't want it to be on the surface. You don't even want yourself to know about it. And if Hyrule is, like, conceptualized as a self, most of it doesn't know what's under the well anymore. Maybe the royal family knows. Maybe Ganondorf knows. You know, he likely knows, since he seems to participate in all things temple-wise. God, I should probably buy a Deku shield too, but nah, we'll be fine. I don't need a Deku shield. But, you know, that hidden, like, when you have a complex, when you have a shadow complex from a Union standpoint, the Mask of Truth, it is a mysterious mask passed down by the Sheikah. With this mask, you can see into other people's minds. It's useful, but scary. You may find out as you grow older and wiser in the ways of the world. Why is it scary? Yeah. And let's just look around. Let's read some people's minds. Well, maybe we can't read everyone's mind, but we can at least read the minds of the stones. I think, yeah, but when you have a repression, that comes from a traumatic event, you know, often occurring in childhood or in the early days of society, because these things can be leveled up all the way to society. Societies can have repressions too. I mean, just look at World War II and what the effects that had on the world, right? Like, it expresses itself in multifarious ways, like, you know, like Pink Floyd. We wouldn't have the Pink Floyd that we know if we didn't have World War II, right? And that trauma, you know, that trauma had to express itself in various ways throughout the culture, and we're still feeling the effects of it, financially, economically, and culturally. And this is a sort of comparative event. And to be honest, this could parallel into an event in Japanese history, perhaps even their version of World War II, which was very dark. You know, they had a very, very dark, I mean, we had Pearl Harbor and kamikazes and all sorts of horrible things came out of World War II, right? And that's a dark history, as well as the you know, the advent of the ninjas in Japan. I'm sure that has to do with the dark histories. I don't know when that took place, maybe during like the Meiji Restoration or something. I'll have to do some research into that, but it's worth looking into. It's worth looking into. Oh wait, I should wear the mask while I'm here. I mean, it's fitting, right? I'm in the Sheikah dungeon, I'll wear the Sheikah mask. It's giving me a lot of hope for this video we're gonna make though, because, oh, and I find it interesting too that Navi can talk to the spirits. Just a little side thing. I can hear the spirits whispering in this room. Look for the eye of truth. That's what they are saying! There's also something symbolic about that. You know, to go into this societal repression, we had to be a child. We had to come back as a child. You know, going back into the childlike state. When we were already far into the adult state, now we're going back. And it's sort of looking back on the past. And by doing that, we're able to achieve the lens of truth because, you know, coming back to that childhood state, seeing things as they truly were instead of this, you know, pretty fairy tale thing that we thought they were, can unlock a repression like that, can unlock a personal truth. So I do think there's something to that Link gains these eyes of truth not by being an adult, but by having experienced being an adult and then reverting back to the childlike state to look at what actually happened. You know, there's a big story being told here. Ganondorf doesn't come out of a void. You know, he has to be created somehow. This wall, it says something. Danger below. Ah! Oh, thanks, wall. But yeah, we're done with the water temple. I feel like we're just gonna breeze through this game. I know the Shadow Temple has its own stuff, and the final dungeons are a little bit tricky, but they don't have nearly as many small keys, and that's really what's important to me. Is the lack of small keys. And you got this green stuff. You know, I watched a whole video on how the green stuff might be associated with a sort of magic that the Sheikah were using to like raise the dead. And I don't know if that holds up. You know, that does seem to be just a fun theory. This to me looks like more like some sort of obstacle that that the ninjas could only make it through. You know, the ninjas have to make it over this bridge, the Sheikah, in order to crawl up out of the torture dungeon. You know, and maybe these are the fallen souls who weren't able to make it out of the torture dungeon. I should probably stop saying that word. It's not good for my algorithm. But I hate having to watch what I say like that, you know? Like, come on, YouTube. Get some context. You know, we're talking about Zelda. Hey, maybe there's more up here? Yeah, and there's lots of skulls and skeletons and death and, you know, there might be something there too about the confrontation with death because, you know, all of us have an initial confrontation with death, right? There always has to be a first time that you figure out, oh my God, like I'm gonna die, you know? Not only like other people, first you realize other people are gonna die usually, and then you realize, wait, you have a sort of empathy and you realize, wait, I could die, you know? And that's a huge, huge step into the development of yourself. Now it seems that the spirits want to help me, which I find to be interesting as well, given that Link is a Highland, and a lot of this, you know, this was probably caused by a lot of Highlands, but maybe they see, you know, Link's true spirit as the hero of this story. Bomb shoes! Actually, I had a few of those already from the mini game in the town. So we're just gonna have to keep an eye on all these secrets. I bet you there's a secret wall here. Maybe here, huh? We're not falling down that hole again, that's for sure. And we can't really get into there just yet. Let's see. And we went through that hole. Oh, here we go. What say you, Navi? I guess that's the big question for me, though, is who were the Sheikah oppressing? Who was the great enemy? Was the great civil war between, you know, the mountains, the rivers, the seas, and, or the, you know, like all the different factions of Hyrule society? Or was it against just maybe one or two of them? Maybe just against the Gerudos, since the Gerudos seem to occupy this space on the outskirts of society, and they're very povertous, and that's where Ganondorf comes from. I'm getting my butt kicked by the spider. Die! Danger above. Well, thanks for letting me know now. Anyway, a lot of people don't know that the best way to kill a spider is with a bomb. Absolutely beats bug spray, smushing on it. You know, you can't really be sure when you step on it, but with a bomb, you can basically take care of any insect problem. You know, maybe not cockroaches. So, if you have a cockroach infestation, don't use a bomb. But, but yeah, no. I used to have roaches in one of the places that I lived, and they were just little tiny things, and you almost don't notice they're there. They're very good at hiding. I guess that's where you get the saying that roaches scatter, right? When you turn the light on, that they do. And it's like they know when you're looking. As soon as you think you see one, you turn your head and they've gone behind something. You know, they'll be everywhere and you'll never know. You know, I don't miss that place. It was a neighbor. I think it was one of my neighbors that ended up causing the roach issue. Like, look at this place. This room is basically made of dead bodies. Oh wait, is that a chest? No. Well, that's cool, but I already had the rupees. I guess I needed to get grabbed by one of those things to fight this guy. Uh-oh, don't, oh, he munched on me. Yeah, try it again, try it again. Try it again. Oh, this guy horrified me as a child. I mean, he's fine now, he's not that scary. He's kind of cute. He kind of waddles like a penguin. Oh, come on. Let's see what Navi has to say about him, actually. Yeah, he can bite me, whatever. A dead hand. Watch out for its infinite hands. Aim for its head. Infinite hands. That's a lot of hands. Ah! He's like, ah, you little twerp. I'm gonna give you a rub your hair around. Oh, stop it! I'm doing so bad. You want a magic bean? Okay. Yeah, get away from these hands. No, he got me again! I gotta get away from this hand. Yeah, you get out of here. Maybe wiggling the controller helps me there. No. I'll get him. I'll get him. I like the jump slash. It does more damage. It's probably good that you drove that mouse out into the country. Those things will find their way back. And yeah, when I was a kid, we had mice in our house, and they're also really fast. You know, they're just tiny little things, and yeah. And yeah, I ended up coming home from vacation once, and this place is dank and creepy. Let's get out of here. But we haven't even explored the whole thing yet. I'm not getting out of here yet, Navi. We're doing some exploring. I need to see more of this torture dungeon. But yeah, and one day though, I had left a bunch of Reese's Puffs in my bed, and we had gone on like a 2-week vacation to a river or something. And when I came back, there was a whole family of mice living in my bed, eating these Reese's Puffs. And I just took I saw them moving, and I opened my blankets, and I don't know how many, there were at least 15 of these guys though, and they all just crawled out of my bed. And I did not, and we got an exterminator and everything, but I did not sleep in my bed for months. I would sleep in my dad's lazy boy, in the living room, and I would wrap myself into a sort of cocoon so that no mice could get me. Not a single one. I didn't want anything to do with any of these mice. I was like, they're not touching me. I don't care. And yeah, that was pretty, I guess I was a little traumatized by that. Oh, it was scary though, you know? The hungry ghost concept. Yeah, I think that is a concept in Japanese myth. Oh, that's interesting. There's a small key. Navi wants me to leave, but I still need to get a small key. Is the hungry ghost, you know, the ghost that seeks to eat life. Hunger in general represents a sort of remaining desire. Like, you know, you've died, but there's still some sort of desire you got left out of life that you need to have, right? You know, maybe for some sort of vengeance against the royal family. I mean, who knows with what's going on in here. Nuts? Who's hiding nuts in a chest in the chic dungeon? And this just goes down here. And there's a re-dead there. Well, that's interesting. Why didn't I see him before? Well, he's just kind of chilling, you know? He's like, I don't know. I'm the only re-dead here. I'm the only one left. I'm not even gonna kill him. He deserves to live. Or not live. I mean, whatever he wants to do. Yeah, but, I mean, that's really what we have here, you know? There was one room I do want to revisit is... Oh, wait. What am I, locked in here? There it is. Okay. There was one more room I wanted to revisit. It was this one. Because look at this. We have a bunch of... Oh, son of a gun! We have a bunch of locked doors. We have hidden pits from the prisoner cages that go down to the poison pits. They weren't just, like, imprisoning people here. They were doing all sorts of nefarious activities, right? The royal bloodline is not clean. And guess what? A dirty bloodline in royalty like that is a prime breeding ground for someone like Ganondorf. Like, we can't, it would be silly for them to just throw in a villain and just be like, look, this guy's super evil. Especially in one of their big flagship games. Just be like, look, this guy's super evil. There's nothing we can do about it. He's just super evil, then that's just how he was born. No, something happened. Something happened here. Ooh. Oh, and we got shadow hands from the ceiling. Let's just get rid of this guy because he's gonna mess up my life. I'm just gonna. There we go. Ah. Man, do I hate these guys. Just get bombed. I'm bombing them. I'm gonna bomb you. More nuts. As if we didn't have enough nuts. But you know what? That actually makes sense. Because isn't Sheik and Impa, aren't they always using the Deku nuts? The Deku nuts are something of the Kokiri. But it's something that they use regularly, it seems. You know, there's something there. There's something there. Maybe just showing the different supplies that these factions used. And more importantly, something like that tells me that this game does like to tell some of its lore through item placement, as opposed to just, you know, literal, you know, communication of text, right? We do need to figure out if that's a thing in general, because you can speculate all you want, but in the end, unless you have so little proofs like that, it's just speculation. And what we're trying to get to the bottom of here is the real meaning of this game, right? That's what I want ultimately. I want the true meaning of what Zelda's trying to convey and its lore in total. And I'm aiming to make that the lore video. I'm aiming to do an analysis of this game that has yet to be done, and more in-depth than has ever been done. I'm really wanting to go into the brunt of what we're looking at here and paint the picture that makes sense, not something that's just theorized. I want it to make sense, which is tricky because we're going to be using a lot of psychoanalysis to do that. And psychoanalysis isn't always very direct. You know, it's hard to get a direct meaning from it sometimes. Okay, there's one more key. Well, I do have... There are some chests I haven't grabbed yet, so let's use the compass we just got, and we'll try and find these chests. Seems to be one over here. Let's see. Like over here, is there... Oh, here we go. It's probably the other key. There we go. I wish it would stop turning off my lens of truth. And, well, we're just gonna open this door over here. There we go, a gold Skulltula. That's what I wanted. And there seems to be something with the Spider Curse family as well. They live in the Sheikah dungeon, or then in the dungeon. They live in the Sheikah town, right? And they had all the money. They also had the Stone of Agony. And the Stone of Agony allows you to find secrets, like secret holes in the ground and all. You know, that could have been where their wealth came from. Possibly where their wealth came from. And, you know, they just took stuff. They were able to find hidden things and take them, and maybe that's the result of their curse, or maybe they robbed the family of the Sheikah. Maybe they robbed the Sheikah. Maybe they tried to rob this well, you know, without the permission of the spirits. Maybe to go get the lens of truth themselves, and were unable to do so. You know, because the spirits here, they seem to be supporting Link, but who's to say they supported this family who was able to find secrets in this town? They might know about the secret in the well. Oh my gosh, do I need another key? Okay, I need one more key. I need one more key. And I see where they are. They're over there in the corner, so we'll go grab those. Ah! Excuse me, sir. Oh, don't, wait, if he sucks me in, maybe he'll spit me out on the other side. I don't know if it works that way. No, but I'm just gonna kill him anyway. I don't want him to take anything I have. Ho hum hum. Where to go here? Maybe I missed something down on this lower level? Seems that there is a chest down here still. Nope, that's where we found the lens of truth. But there was something else in this room, if I recall. Yeah, it's in the corner here. No? Okay, that's fine. Son of a gun, these spiders. These spiders, just let me pass, sir. You know, something else I noticed too is that the Redeads, they wear coffin lids for masks. You can find this out from the scientist in Lake Hyla. And I was trying to think, what does this remind me of? It reminds me of kabuki, you know, which is another great tradition in Japan. Kabuki, which is a sort of operatic theater where the characters wear masks and sort of tilt these masks, which are designed in a very specific way, so that light reflects off of them, expressing different emotions. Do I need to go down here? We've already been down here. Let's just take a look around, though. It seems that there is still a chest down here somewhere. On, maybe over here. I think this one's just the dungeon map, if I recall. Yeah, it's just the dungeon map. Whatever, that's gonna help us anyway. Ah! Oh, no! Oh, funny. Yeah, but there was a big theory, I think, that some people were saying that this green stuff was the same green that's in your magic meter, right? That the green you find in the coffins and in the graves and all that that's kind of poisonous is the same green that reanimates the Redeads. It's the same magic that, and there was good reason to think that, I think, as well. You know, that idea didn't come out of a void, but there's not a lot to tell us really the truth of it. So, yeah. Okay. I'm really trying to figure this out. Maybe I need to go up over in this corner. I don't want to leave this dungeon unfinished. I think this is where that locked door is, if I'm correct? It is, okay. It is. Let's look at the map. Let's look at the map. So something that's a floor under and seems to be in this sort of corner of the map over here. Maybe through this way. Yes, I haven't been here yet. Yeah, here we go. A heart. Wouldn't you know it? A single heart in the horrible dungeon of death and skeletons and skulls and bats and everything evil. They leave you a single heart. Okay, so something you can do here, I remember, is grab Din's fire. And light it up. And awaken all the dead. Yeah, and there's also a theory that the Sheikah were just reanimating the dead for their own purposes too, and by extension Ganondorf now, who is sort of the controlling force in society, right? There is a sort of magic that reanimates the dead. That goes less into the symbolic stuff that we're trying to talk about, but... Oh my god, ah! Do it again! No! They can freeze you mid-magic! Burn! Oh, he turned all the bats into fire bats! Oh, it's a trap! That was clever. Clever, Nintendo. I did like that. I enjoyed that quite a bit. That was a fun little surprise. Okay. You too. Now we can go grave robbing. I think there is a key, actually. The final key is in one of these. Maybe this one. Yeah, there it is. The only key, as far as I know, that's not in a chest. And what do these things say? You find these in the Shadow Temple. You can't really read the text on them, but I'm curious because they have these big birds, you know, and maybe there's some mythic symbolization there from Shinto. You know, I know we have things like the Tengu, which are sort of bird creatures, which if you don't know what those are, they have sort of these long noses, and it's thought that they come from Chinese Buddhism originally as Garudas. So the Garuda, a great winged beast, in Japanese, you know, interpretation becomes this Tengu, which is a more human form with bird-like qualities. And I'm trying to think of popular Tengu in video games, you know. But they tend to be tricksters, you know, sort of a trickster spirit. But I don't know. That's the only bird-like creature I can think of from Japanese myth at the moment. Oh my god! Fell in the hole. It's not going well for me, but it's okay. Oh, we're almost done. We just gotta go. We just gotta go in this room. I had to start a little late today, so this might be the only one that I do today. We might tackle the Shadow Temple tomorrow because I you know, like around 12:30 or so Eastern time, I got to start getting ready for work, or I end up going to work in clothes that I don't want to wear and not having eaten enough or slept enough, and it's just not a good time. And oh man, you know, I've had a really good time at my job because I have a lot of really respectful coworkers. You know, they're great, honestly. Like, I've had a really great time at this job I've been working at. The boss is cool, but there's some factioning that's starting to happen between leadership and some of the lower level employees, and I guess I've taken it upon myself to sort of prevent this from actually happening. So it's a big stress I have right now, is that I've got to kind of navigate this factioning that might be going on and make sure that it doesn't happen. You know, that people just end up communicating with each other, and we can just keep having a happy workplace instead of it devolving into one of these workplaces that no one wants to be at. Oh, look, a shield! I haven't had a shield in forever. I'm gonna lose it immediately. Let's put it on though. Look at that. Yeah, and it's a little bit stressful, but you know, I oftentimes I really like being a lower level employee, even though I have a lot of management experience and I'm able to do that job really effectively. You know, when I'm in charge, people tend not to trust me, or not me, but I've just noticed in general that leadership figures, you know, there's a sort of trepidation people have with them because they have control over your job, right? They have control over whether you get to eat tomorrow. So there's an instant power dynamic that I don't like there. So I prefer to take a lower level position, honestly, most of the time, especially because the pay's not that different in my industry. It's just not worth it to me. And then I can actually, you know, manage things from the bottom up a little bit. And my goal, I play a sort of management where I try to keep everyone happy and just complacent and content. You know, so that we can all just have like a really good time and enjoy what we have to do, you know, 8 hours a day, right? Just enjoy our jobs. And so, thus far it's been really cool, but recently someone's on a power trip, you know, and there's some factioning happening, and I hate factions because it's like, I saw it, I watched it happen. As soon as one formed, another one started to form. And then it was split, and I'm like, wow, this is good study. I'm watching this in real time. But I'm like, oh, wait, no, don't study it. You need to stop it. Stop it before it gets out of control. Which usually just means having people talk to each other, you know, come to equal terms, make, you know, sacrifices for each other. Like, it's really just a social thing. It has nothing to do with the job itself because, you know, I work in the cannabis industry. It's easy as pie. Like, that's the thing. People get big egos when they're in the cannabis industry, but anyone with half a brain can do it, you know, and there's no reason to get all huffy puffy about anything. It's so easy. you know, you just take your inventory, you sell the product, and you follow a few regulations, and it's like nothing that like a baby could handle it. So what really ends up happening is people just get emotions towards each other and start, well, I don't like this person for this reason, I don't like that person for that reason. It's like, well, whatever, we're just all here to collect our paychecks, so, you know, let's just try to be civil. But yeah, it gets pretty wild sometimes. You know, big old egos. And I guess it's worth coming, you know, I want to show you guys this just because it's here. This is one of my favorite holes in the game because, one, there's a big old 200 rupee in it, which I've already gotten, but there were some re-deads in here too. Some hidden wealth, right? And I wonder if this wealth that was hidden down here was connected to the spider family. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. But we did it. We got the lens of truth. We did the main thing that we needed to do today. Let's head back to the, well, let's head back to the Temple of Time. Oh God, what was it? There it is. Yes. Oh, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to talk to these stones outside. So let's talk to some stones. I'm likely just going to read what a lot of these have to say on some sort of wiki, because for me to do all the research in-game would take forever. But I overheard this. They say that Gerudo sometimes come to Hyrule Castle Town to look for boyfriends. Oh yeah, I guess because, you know, it's an all-female society. So perhaps, it makes me wonder if Ganondorf isn't actually part of the Hyrulean royal line. They say that it is against the rules to use the glasses at the treasure chest shop in Hyrule Castle Town Market. You're damn right it is, but I'm going to do it anyway. Malin of Lon Lon Ranch hopes a knight in shining armor will come and sweep her off her feet someday. They say that Malin set the original record in the obstacle course, right? So she's a good horseman, and she wants a knight in shining armor. I suppose that's important to know. You never know when that stuff's gonna come up and be important. Let's go ahead and go to the... You know what? I don't think we're gonna do the Shadow Temple today, but that doesn't mean we can't fart around and do a few other things. Let's play the Sun Song. And we'll go to the treasure chest shop mini game and we'll cheat. We'll cheat at that and get the prize. Because I think I've done all the other mini games in here. I did the arrow mini game. I did the bomb chew one off screen and I got all the good rewards from that. I did the dog lady. I got her dog back. Oh yeah, no, honestly, like at this point in my life, Ketzer, taking the lower positions has left me with more mental health than, like, when I was managing, it was such, like, I loved it, and I even had a really good staff, but, yeah, I just, it was so much stress, like, having to deal with CEOs and, you know, their money grubbing and stuff like that, that I just, it's not worth it to me, you know, it's not worth it. I mean, who am I making money for? I was usually making money, especially in the cannabis industry, for the worst people. I worked for the the founder of Grubhub, actually. He was one of my CEOs for a while. And that guy is a grade A dick. Like, holy crap, that guy, I mean, not only was he just like robbing the company blind that I worked at, right? But he just didn't give a crap about any of the lower level employees. Like, there's not really a good comparison. He's just like the Monopoly guy or something, you know? And it just, whoever got in his way, well, that person was done. It's just, yeah, it's terrible. Terrible individual. Don't know why he got into that industry. I think he just wanted some fast money. Oh, and I completed another heart container. Look at that. Hey, that's pretty cool. What does this teach us, everybody? Cheating pays off. Cheating pays off. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into some more Shinto today because I spent a lot of time recently learning the basic myth of Shinto, but I need to learn some of the lower level myths and some of the lower gods because those end up being very important too. Wait, what was it? There it is. They end up being very important too, like the hungry ghost thing that you were talking about. There's lots of hungry death ghosts. There's 7 gods, kami of luck, right, that we've not even gotten into. There's a whole lot that we need to approach there. This dog is still following me. All right, well, where do I want to go now? I feel like the world's my oyster since I'm not going to the dungeon. I'm just kind of wandering around. I know that there's a Sheikah stone down here. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and put the Sheikah mask on my main inventory. I think I might go around talking to some stones for a little bit. And we haven't got the money out of this dungeon yet. They say that the horse Ganondorf rides is a solid black Gerudo stallion. Alright, so we know that's from the Gerudo village. That's no surprise, really. Where else? I think there's a few of these stones in Lon Lon Ranch, too, so let's head over to Lon Lon Ranch. I made a whole mango smoothie. I haven't even taken a drink out of it. Ugh. Fruit smoothies have changed my life. I've been eating them for like 4 or 5 months now. And it's replaced like all the sugar that I eat, really. Which has been really healthy for me. You know? I also do wonder about Link a little bit, because you know how Malon wants a knight in shining armor? Well, Link isn't exactly wearing armor, but he fulfills that stereotype, you know, and he has various women in his life, you know, Saria, Malon, Ruto, the Gerudo lady whose name I can't remember right now. And I mean, I don't know if these are all potential suitors for Link or something like that, but he doesn't and Zelda, he doesn't end up with any of them. In fact, he tends to lose them all to being sages or some sort of unattainable, you know, spirit figure. Like, Link really doesn't have a relationship, so to say. You know, and that's possibly intentional. Now, I really thought there was a Gerudo, or a Mask of Truth stone. But maybe there isn't. Maybe there isn't. This kind of reminds me that I've been watching a show called Landman, which has Billy Bob Thornton and Sam Elliott in it, and was recommended to me because, you know, I'm from the South. In fact, I'm from that area where, you know, the big oil boom down there is happening. You know, they call it the Patch or whatever. And I just did not like that show, though. It was just a bunch of oil propaganda, and it was a little thrilling. You know, it had some thrills, which I enjoyed, and I like Billy Bob Thornton. He's a good actor. But God, you know, it's just don't ever get your information about society from TV shows, I guess, is the lesson I learned there, because it was a bunch of oil propaganda and some weird statements about gender identity and stuff that, you know, you might expect to get out of the South, but then you really hope that you don't actually get. So, yeah, mostly a bunch of nonsense, honestly, but Billy Bob Thornton, he does play a good Texan. Oh, dude, look at that guy. Look at him running. Oh, man, look at that man running. He is running. He does not give a shit anymore. He is just, damn, boop, 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 boop. He is having the time of his life. I really don't know what to watch on TV anymore, though. It's yeah. I turn on, you know, I've actually canceled. I've really canceled almost all my streaming services except YouTube. I use YouTube Music and YouTube Premium because I have a channel and I feel like it's going to help me somehow. But I don't have Netflix or Amazon or any of that stuff anymore. Or Spotify or anything. And my life is so much better because of it. They say, you already told me that on another stone. Why are they repeating this information about Ganondorf's horse, I wonder? Okay, well, we're gonna go to Lake Hyla, is what we're gonna do. Sorry, everyone, I'm gonna play a song. Maybe go fishing. It might be the last thing we do today is get started on the fishing. Because that'll give me the golden scale if I catch the right fish. And I do want that to be able to dive deep. Oh, and at the request of some of you guys, I did rewrite my Scarecrow song. I don't know where the spots are, though, the Scarecrow spots. So point them out to me, and I'll do my stupid... I'll do my stupid, simple song that I wrote. Which I think is just LR, 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 LR. Good song. Good song. Great. The lyrics are really what it's all about, but I didn't write those yet, so, you know, it's in the works. Get out of rock. Get out of here. Oh, look, it just sinks, and then it explodes. Oh, man, it's hard pressed for me to say that this is my favorite part of every Zelda game, is the fishing. Especially in Twilight Princess, they had a beautiful fishing area. Feel a hit, press it. I think I got it. Wait, what was the biggest fish? No. Yeah, take my money. £6, okay. £6. If we can catch a, you know what? And if I recall, this big fish, you can see him somewhere. He's a big old guy, and I think he's over there. I believe that's him. You know, kind of in the water there. So we're gonna aim at that guy. No, maybe he's not there. Actually, I think that's him over by the log. I'm reeling. Sorry, when I press in on my stick, it changes to the map. Yeah. £2, get out of there. Get out of here with that. Ain't gonna catch no 2-pound fish. Is that him over there? No, I'm pretty sure he's that big one right over there on the log. I think that's the fish you want to catch. Yeah, he's right there. You see him? Ooh, right? There's so many of them. Which one's the biggest? Oh, that's funny. Echoes of Wisdom has smoothies. That's good. Smoothies are healthy. They're great for you. It's a great way to get your fruit. You know, I usually just mix in a banana and a mango, some frozen mangoes and banana and some oat milk, man. And you got your... Oh, there he is. See that big sucker right there? He's the fish. Hey, you see this, man? You see me? He's the fish. Look at him. He's the biggest one. I'm gonna give myself a few minutes to get this guy, and then, I don't know, I'll probably log off, you know. It's a short day. Mondays are my short day, because I really don't have a whole lot of time. There he is! Look at him! He's looking at it. Get it, man! Get it! It's okay, I got a lock on him now. Come on, guy. Bite on it. You got it. It's right here. Just right. Oh! I'm getting him. Dang. What am I supposed to like slack on it when he jumps? Man, he is a tough one. I don't know what to do when he jumps. There's something about when he jumps, you're supposed to like slack on it. Come on, dude. I'm getting him. He's the big one. He definitely is. Look how hard he's fucking fighting me. Yeah, you gotta slack on it when he jumps. You gotta slack on it when he jumps. Jeez, this guy. It's giving me a rough time. Come on, dude. No! Oh, I'm gonna have to look up how to grab. I don't even know how to fish him out of there. Okay, guys. Next time on Gametrip, we'll catch this fish, maybe, and then we'll do the Shadow Temple. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for joining, Ketzer.